Oh, that's the button I wanted. Greetings, everyone. BJ Waller back with you for another Stronghold Kingdoms tips and tricks video here. Timed attacks. We're going to show you how to do timed attacks here. Now, what we're about to show you can be done either, this is sort of how you want to do it, whether you're doing it by yourself or whether you're doing it with a group of people, how you're going to time attack a single village. And for the purposes of this demonstration, we have a little nub here in McCombel that we are going, that I've been planning on capturing. I figured, you know what, might as well do a timed attack tips and tricks video on it, because I kind of do it and makes it nice and easy to do, and we can capture this village and get a little tips and tricks video out of it. Now, of course, obviously, if you're doing timed attacks, you're probably going to do it against a heavily fortified village. So you want to make sure you have either enough parishes or enough armies to send against this village. And of course, the first important thing to do, let's go ahead and do this, is make sure you have your attacks saved, either cloud setups or local setups. You're going to want to have breakers and capture, because it'll make the timing a whole heck of a lot easier, depending on how many attacks you're going to want to launch. And generally, in times of war or attacking at any time you're attacking another player, you don't necessarily want to give them a heads up that you're attacking them. So you will be doing this blind. You'll be going in this without knowing the defenses of the village. So every attack you send out, you will want to send your maximum army out for each attack. And the more heavily defended you think the village is, the more attacks you will want to send. But of course, for the purposes of this, we're going to send 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attacks out. Again, if it's a heavily defended village, you'll probably want to have a lot more armies going out after it. But regardless of how many armies you go out, what I'm about to show you is basically is the strategy on how to go about doing it. How the number of armies you send out is immaterial. You're going to be using the same process to do it. So first things first is determine where you will be sending your capture or your raise. You could be raising as well from. So today we are going to be capturing from our nearby village of Brinataria here. So first thing we want to do is find out how long it will take that captain to land. So in order to do that, what you want to do is just set up a basic, just throw some troops down, launch attack, and then here, this will tell you, of course, the type of attack doesn't matter. The time will be the same. However, if you do plan on using speed army cards, if you do plan on using cards, make sure the cards are active when you do this, so you know exactly the time it will take. Because once the card is active, this, of course, will change. So you need to make sure you have any cards, speed army cards that you're going to be using, active when you are determining the length of time it will take. So 4 minutes and 27 seconds our captain will take to reach the village. Make sure we cancel, because we don't want to screw nothing up there. So as you can see here, I have a list of who I am, of where I'm going to attack from. So here it is, Brinataria. Takes 4 minutes, 27 seconds. I've already determined I'll be attacking from 4 different parishes here: McCombel, Don Mariano, Lapu-Lapu, Legat, and Lavigan. Those are where my breaker attacks are coming from. So as you can see, I've already determined here, or I guess I should say over there, the notepad file over there on the other side of the screen. Lapu-Lapu will take 5 minutes and 21 seconds. So again, you just do the same thing here from each place you are planning to attack from. 5 minutes, 21 seconds. Again, make sure you have your speed army card active to see if you're going to use different speed army cards. You might use a double speed army card or a 3 times speed army card. You're going to have to make sure whichever you're using that double from, that double is active for that particular village. So it's probably best just to use the same amount of time. If you're going to use a double army card, use a double army card for every attack. If you're going to use a triple for each attack. Because obviously if you have one card active, that's the only card you can have active until you launch that attack. And you'll want to determine all these times before you launch your attacks. So Don Mariano Marcus. Again, you know, I've went ahead and predetermined all this, but for, again, the sake, 3 minutes, 12 seconds of showing you. Boom. Okay. Lovian. Boop. Boop. Attack. Doot, doot, doot. 5 minutes, 3 seconds. And McCombel, last of all, because that will be the fastest. Boom. Attack. Local setups. Oh yeah, I don't need local setups. Just to determine the time. 30 seconds. Cancel attack. Boom. Alright, so that's where we got all our times from here. So, of course, I've listed them in order from the longest length of time to the shortest length of time. And we have our capture attack right here in the middle. Now, of course, due to, just due to lag and that kind of stuff, you'll want to make sure all your breakers hit before your capture. So the order in which your breakers hit, if you're using the same formation for each one, doesn't matter. So you can pretty much have those hit at the exact time. You want to make sure you leave yourself, a couple of seconds. The theory behind timed attacks is to leave the least amount of time possible between your first attack and whatever that raze or capture attack is, which will be your last attack to hit that particular village. You want to leave the least amount of time possible for whoever you are attacking to be able to react and repair in between those attacks. So 5 seconds is generally good. I did a timed attack against a fully built up and defended village here. As a matter of fact, right here, if you want to see that in action, the actual, what I did, see it in live action instead of just sort of on our nub test village here. Well, it's not our nub test village. It's just a AFK player who's just been sitting there, and we don't want, AFK nub undefended villages in our parishes. But for the purpose of this one, going full on, genuine, full defended village attack, please check out my video in our Stronghold Kingdoms Island Warfare playlist here on YouTube. It is 100 Days of Gaming 2020, Top 10 MMOs, number 8, Stronghold Kingdoms. It's a fairly long video, but within, I'd say, the middle section of that video is where I went through this entire process of doing the timed attacks, sent them out, they hit, and of course we ended up capturing this village. So if you want to see it in real life, sort of real life application for it, even though this is a real life application, but again, this is more of a just to show you how it's done type of thing, please check that video out. Okay, so we've got determined. So what we've done here, so you can see here, we've got all our times here for where these attacks are coming from. We want our capture to hit. So it'll take 5 minutes and 21 seconds for Lupu to hit this village right here. So that's going to be our key time right here. 5:21 is our key time. So we want our capture to hit 5 seconds after that. So we want the capture to hit at 5:26. So you can see here, Bernataria, it will take 4 minutes, 22 seconds, or 4 minutes, 27 seconds to reach. So when we launch our capture, as you'll see, I have a timer, so you'll definitely want a timer for this as well. Windows 10 has a built-in timer that you can use, which I actually used for that attack, and we will be using here. It'll be popping up here in just a second here. So we'll want our capture launch to hit at 4:22. Or we want to launch our capture attack when the timer says 4:22. So let's bring the timer up. So I just need to move our display capture up, maximize that, and now you should be able to see that. So 5:21. Of course, that doesn't help me when I need to see my see my OBS and stuff. But unfortunately, I can't capture this on OBS through anything but display capture. So that's a bit of a pain in the butt. So there we go, 5:21. So when this timer reads 4:22, that's when we want to launch our captain. So let's bring that back down a bit. So when everything else, we will want to launch Lavagan. When the timer says 5:03, we will want to launch Don Mariano Marcus. When the timer says 3:12, we'll want to launch Macambo when the timer says 30 seconds. And if we do it correctly, the 4 parish armies should all hit pretty much at exactly the same time. And of course, if you've played this game before, you know that attacks on a village, no matter how many attacks go after a village, they only go in sequential order. They only go one at a time. It's not like you're saying all these armies and they're all coming. So when you see the reports after the attacks hit, what the system does is automatically say, okay, this one hit, then this one, then this one, then this one. This is why you want to leave at least 5 seconds, or at least a few seconds difference of time between your capture and your breakers, because what happens if you all launch them to hit at the same time, the way the system will pick up that attack, it could pick up your capture attack first. If it picks up your capture attack first, well, the walls aren't broken down, your capture fails, and you're basically out all those other armies, and you've just wasted your time, essentially. So you want to make sure that your capture will be the last attack to hit. You give it about 5 seconds between your breakers and that capture, and that should be enough time for it'll pick up again, because you'll probably see we'll launch all these. It'll look like one army hits first before another. Let's say it'll look like Lupu hits before Lavagan, but the way the system picks it up, it'll say Lavagan hit before Lupu. So that's why you definitely want to leave that a little bit of buffer amount of time between your capture attack and your breaker attacks, just so the system doesn't screw you up on how it picks up those attacks when they hit. So without further ado, let's go ahead, launch these attacks, capture this village, and see if we did it correctly. Pretty sure we're doing it correctly here. If not, well, you probably won't be watching this video, but I'm pretty sure you will. All right, so let's go ahead and maximize our timer. I'm just going to shift my notepad over here so I can actually see it a little bit easier as we maximize the timer. I guess that's not going to help, is it? So I'm going to just be maxing and minimizing this timer here for the purposes of this. I know, let's see, Lavagan at 5:03. I should probably have this memorized by now. So Lupu, boom. Okay, so we're going to go after it. Local setups, breaker attack. Now for the actual formations here, ignore the actual formations because I don't have the full armies in my parishes and stuff like that. You'll want, again, to launch with full 500 army capability or whatever your capability is. You generally don't want to launch after a heavily defended village with less than 500 troops. So ignore the actual formation. The purposes of this is actually just to show you how to do the timing for the attacks. So we will launch the attack. So this is important. You got to remember each step. So you got to make sure in between your breaker attacks, you leave yourself enough time to go through this process. All right, so 5:21. So we know our next attack has to launch at 5:03. So as soon as we hit go, we're going to want to jump over to our timer and press time. So there's going to be a couple seconds difference. You got to remember to allow for that, just to move the cursor over and get the timer started once we hit go. But ready, here we go. Attack launched. Timer started. Now, of course, Lavagan is the next one we want to launch, so we want to get into Lavagan. Boom. again, you want to make sure you're going to have enough time to go through this process of setting up, which again, having preset attacks or preset attacks. Okay, launch now. Preset attacks is really vital. So the next attack we launch will be the actual capture attack, since the next two armies will have a quicker time getting there. So there, local setups, our capture. There's our captain back there. Okay, be there in a minute. You're gonna have to get annoying child out. Okay, I will be there in a minute. Launch attack, capture. And now, of course, with a capture, we got to remember, it asks us this, 422, we want to launch, go. So capture is now launched. Now we've got about a minute to go, so let's see how our timing is going so far. So, boom, 414, 413, 412, 411, 410, 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, 44. So perfect. These are going to hit at identical times. 41, 359, 358, 357. So as you can see here, Army's going to hit a little bit later, which is perfect. So we're about right where we want to be. Next up, we want to get ready with this breaker. Boom. And this wants to launch at 3 minutes and 12 seconds. So we've got 20 seconds left. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch. Now we should be 310, 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 3, 259, 258. So right now we are at perfect time. Our three breakers are due to hit at exactly the same time. And our captain should be hitting here, as you can see, 5 seconds later that was. So we go here, 245, 244, 243, 242, 241, 240. Should be 246, 245. Perfect. About 5 or 6 seconds later. So the last attack comes from a combo. And we've got 2 minutes before we have to worry about that one. So you can just sit and watch as your armies come in. So yeah, you'll definitely you definitely want to allow for a couple, at least to have a few seconds. You want to try to have at least, depending on how quick you are with the button presses and your timing. You probably want to make sure your timed attacks, wherever you're attacking from, you've got a good, 20 to 30 seconds bare minimum for your breaker armies, wherever you're coming from, just to give yourself time to get everything set up and get the timing precise. Again, of course, it helps if you have more than one person doing it. That way you've got, you can send a whole bunch of armies coming in with each one. So we're down to a minute left. So let's go ahead and start prepping for this attack. Boom, buggy, local setups, breakers, of course. Launch attack, 30 seconds. So when the timer hits 30 seconds, we'll want to get a combo out. And we should be good to go. 35 seconds before we launch. 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 20, 15, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch. Okay. So let's see. They're moving in. So we got 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 21, 20, 20, 19, 18, And even though the captain's there, we know the captain's slower. 20 seconds away, captain. 14 seconds. 12 seconds. Here we go. Time to tax moving in. You can see them moving in. And 1 second, boom. Everybody should start hitting right about now. We'll get rid of that. Boom. And all the attacks have hit. Captain's still coming in. Boom. And there we go. And that's how you do time to tax. Boom, 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 boom. And capture successful. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So let's take a look at our reports here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's our 5 attacks. As you can see here. 22 seconds, 22 seconds, 22 seconds, 21 seconds. So all pretty much popped right in pretty close to each other there. And of course, about 5 to 6 seconds later, this hit. So again, you can see how well you did your time to attack in your report. 11:26:03. 11:26:03. So those hit exactly at the same time. 11:26:03. Again, exactly the same time. 11:26:04. McCombel just 1 second later. But as you can see, all 4 attacks hit within 1 second of each other. And again, that's why you want to leave a little bit of leeway with your time to attack. So the first attack to hit was Lapu Lapu. Second attack was Lavigan. Third attack was Don Mariano Market. So this time it actually worked out where each attack that we had launched hit within that sequential order. But again, if you watch that other, if you watch our in action, so to speak, video, you'll notice that when we did this, one of the attack we had from one of our parishes actually hit before the other parish in the timing. So you'll always want to have that timing there. So there we go. We don't need to see the reports because the village is completely undefended. But you know what? There we go. So completely undefended. There goes the attack. Capture successful. Always make sure when you're doing a capture or a raise, keep your captain out the back there. Less chance of him getting killed. But there you go. There's your time to tax. I am BJ Weiler. Thank you for watching, everyone. Until next time, I will see you in game.